Are we going to see deflation? Well, I want to address that in today's video because the lies are just beginning. What we are seeing is that news stations are coming out and telling us certain pieces of information, but they don't give us the whole story. Well, I know this because just the other day, I was watching the news. I was curious. There was a specific segment that I really wanted to know about, and I was shocked with what I learned. Because these news channels, they were talking about deflation and that we're not going to see inflation much longer. It's good news to the American people. Prices are going to come down. Everything's going to be just fine. Well, I want you to understand the reasoning behind why we're going to see deflation, because honestly, it could be temporary. And there's two main reasons why these news stations were talking about deflation. The first reason was the American people are getting tired of paying higher prices for goods, so we're just going to stop. Well, that hasn't happened. Gas prices keep going up. Food prices are getting more expensive. Retail goods are not coming down anytime soon. And so that's what they're saying, that prices are getting so high, the American people will just stop. Well, it hasn't happened. The second reason why is because multiple news outlets stated that larger retailers are already lowering prices on goods. This is the first sign of deflation. Yes, retailers are lowering the price of some goods, but I want to explain why. Okay? Because here's just the beginning of these lies. These are just some lies. Are the American people going to stop spending money just because things get more expensive? Some will, yes. But is everybody? No. It's never happened that way. Are we seeing prices come down? Yes. But not because the American people aren't buying products. That's not the reason why. Prices aren't dropping as a result of cheaper manufacturing. Honestly, if anything, manufacturing is getting more expensive. So how are we going to see deflation? We won't. And prices definitely aren't falling as a result of cheaper transportation and shipping. Not when oil, just a barrel of oil is over $120 right now. That's not what we're going to see. So why are there so many different reports of deflation? Well, here's why. In reality, the reason why we're seeing prices drop is, especially in retail stores, is because they have excess inventory as a result of delayed shipments from 2021. Inventory has been piling up over the past few months, and retailers are just now attempting to liquidate it. Target warned investors just the other day that they're going to take on a short-term hit to profits as they mark down unwanted merchandise. And many other larger retailers have said something very similar, like Walmart. Dollar stores. They've said the exact, or Dollar Tree, they've said the exact same thing. They have to lower their prices in order to pretty much get rid of unwanted merchandise. That's why we're going to see deflation. Now, just to give you an idea of how much excess inventory there is in some larger retailers, let's go over some of these numbers. I want to talk about how bad it has become. Okay? Dick's Sporting Goods has around 48% excess inventory, and sales year over year are down 7.5%. So they have around 48%, an excess inventory. But they don't even have enough sales to cover just their regular inventory. And yet they have a surplus? That's not good. This is why we're seeing stores lowering prices, because they have all these goods that are sitting in warehouses and on their shelves, and yet nobody's buying them. Kohl's, they reported they have 44.5% excess inventory, and their sales are down 4.4% year over year. Target, they've seen sales increase by 4% year over year, but they have 39.1% in excess inventory. TJ Maxx has excess inventory of 35.2%. Lowe's has 18.1% excess inventory. Home Depot has 10.9% excess inventory. And even Costco has 9.9% in excess inventory, although their sales year over year have really exploded by 16.2%. So that's why, okay? This is the reason why we're seeing prices get cut in some of these bigger retailers like Dick's Sporting Goods, Kohl's, Target, TJ Maxx, Lowe's, even Home Depot, even Costco. You go to buy a couch, go to buy a washer and dryer, they have some now. And the prices are coming down. There's sales. Not bad. Now, when you go into stores, what you are seeing is a lot of larger items like a washer and dryer, couches, right? Some TVs. These are the items that are deeply discounted. Right? You're not going to see food deeply discounted. Why? Because we still have a shortage. Now, this is good if you're looking to buy something like a couch or a washer and dryer or a table or something bigger, right? But when lower income earners don't have much disposable income at the moment, the items will likely sit for a little while before they're sold. Especially if you got 40% in excess inventory, it's going to take a little bit to get off the books. And in many cases, these items are going to go through a second and potentially a third round of markdowns, which is going to contribute to deflation, right? Because, and keep this in mind, what do we look at when we are looking at our CPI report, which again comes out on Friday? We're looking at retail spending. We're looking at automotive. We're looking at rents, travel and leisure, right? All these different things play into this number. So we could see deflation temporarily because prices have to be marked down. That's what we could see. Now, gas prices, again, aren't coming down. But, again, this is temporary. And if this happens over the next few months, which is expected, so we're going to see prices come down. Gas prices are elevated due to, travel and summer. Obviously, kids being out of school, all those things. So travel is more expensive during the summer. But come the end of August, you're really going to see it drop. So if we see prices start coming down for retail spending, right? You see gas prices go up, and so when gas prices usually go up, things like trucks, some new cars, a lot of it comes down. Well, if we see that in addition to travel dropping come the end of August and September, we could see deflation. Again, it could be temporary though. And that's where many people are worried. Because right now, here's what's going on. Retailers have stopped orders. They've just canceled them. Like, we don't need any more excess inventory. We're good. They want to wait until they liquidate their older inventory. So that's the first thing. Second thing, they're not hiring. Businesses are not hiring right now like they were in 2021. And the problem is that we are going to see our CPI reading come in lower than our current 8.3%. But again, you probably think, how is that a problem? It's a problem because it could be temporary. And if we see deflation or disinflation, right? And it comes from, let's say, 8.3% to, let's say, 7% over the next couple months, great. Then you're probably thinking the Federal Reserves, they're not going to worry about raising rates too much higher, right? Things are going to slowly start to go back to normal. And eventually what we could see is inflation just run away. That would be a problem. Again, these things right now are more temporary. Because as soon as retailers begin placing new orders, hiring new employees, everything goes back up, goes more back to normal. But again, this could also lead to a recession in the meantime. Keep that in mind. We could see, again, and none of this stuff is great, but we could see, as a result of, retailers cutting prices, gas prices going up so high, the summer months, right? All these things combined could lead to deflation, but also it could lead to a recession in the meantime. Currently, 81% of U.S. adults believe that a recession will hit this year. And it really could, we could be in a recession right now. But the reality of the situation is all of this will likely be temporary. And if that is the case, we could see inflation bottom and then run back up. That's what we could see. But again, what we are hearing in the mainstream media is things are coming down. Prices are looking good, right? Buying a new car is getting cheaper. Yeah, it is getting cheaper than what it was 6 months ago. But at the same time, is it really getting cheaper? Can the American people afford it? No. That's what's crazy about all this stuff. Is, okay, yes, prices are coming down. Housing is getting less expensive. There's more houses on the market. So it's starting to turn a little bit. But if you look at the actual price of the house, let's say it's instead of $450,000 or $500,000 like it was 6 months ago, maybe it's only $450,000 now. Okay. But when rates have almost or doubled, really, is that house cheaper? No. It's more expensive. So what people are kind of going through is they're pretty much being told everything's coming down in price. Everything's coming down in price. So now it's more affordable, but in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, everything is more expensive. Okay? You have to keep that in mind. So again, these lies are just beginning. They're just beginning. But this is what we're being told. You watch mainstream media, you're going to be told that, oh, things aren't as bad as they are. Or things aren't as bad as many people are predicting. But if you look at the entire economy and not just certain areas, things aren't looking great. All right? So that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.